hard. It's hard waking up at 4 o'clock, 4:30 every day, and it's hard listening to somebody that you don't know, but pumps the fear of God into you because you're like, wow, this guy is so scary. But you know that he's your TIs seem very, very mean to you guys, but you guys will start liking him and respecting them more as time and time goes on, because that's just like your whole flight right there is a family, and your TI is like the father figure of everybody. So you're just like, wow, if I listen to this guy, I'm sure he's going to lead me to that light at the end of the tunnel that I was looking to get. So after basic training was over, I went to technical school because I was a services troop. That's 3M0X1. That services has a lot of different career fields in that career field. Where
was your services school at?
Services school was at Lackland Air Force Base. So I just packed up my bags and went literally right across the street to the Medina side of Lackland Air Force Base. That's where it was when I went through technical school. Technical school was easy as well. It wasn't very hard. It was about another 6 weeks of learning. There's different career fields in services. There's the lodging career field, there's mortuary affairs, there's working in the gym, and there's working with food. So it was a pretty easy technical school, learning about how to cook food the proper way, what food needs to be at what temperature, how to learn all the body parts of the human body, because you're going to need to learn a lot of that working in the gym, a lot of the gym equipment you need to learn. Then mortuary affairs, that was probably the hardest aspect of all of it, because you got to go through sea burning training. You do a lot of you're looking at how to build how you're going to prepare foods and a deployed location and everything. So that was one of the harder things. And then the lodging aspect, it's pretty easy as well. It's fairly short, but it was a very easy technical school as well. After that was over, I got stationed at Spangdahlem Air Force Base in Germany. I was stationed there for 2 years, and it was probably the best experience of my life. When you're in Germany, you get to travel and see so many different aspects of Europe that you never think that you're going to be able to, you can never imagine doing, living in the States and not being in the military. Traveling over there is a lot cheaper. The culture is a lot different. It was just an amazing time being in Germany altogether. After Germany was over, I got stationed at Luke Air Force Base. I was stationed at Luke Air Force Base for 2 years as well. Like I said, I did services at Luke Air Force Base. The majority of the time when I was at Luke Air Force Base, I worked in the dining facility there. While at Luke Air Force Base, I actually got orders for my first deployment. So I deployed to Kyrgyzstan for 4 months as well at Manas Air Force Base.
Okay, hold on, let me get that. You're saying where now? In
Kyrgyzstan?
M-A-N-A-S?
Yes, M-A-N-A-S, Manas.
Kyrgyzstan.
I think if you put Manas Air Force Base, it should come up. So I did a 4-month tour at Manas Air Force Base, and while I was over there, that's when I found out that I did actually get approved to be a recruiter. So I put in my packet to be a recruiter before I left, and then I found out that I got approved for that right while I was deployed. So, but being deployed is not what everybody thinks, what they think it is. It's a lot safer than what most people might think. At least with my job, it was fairly safe. I really didn't do anything outside the gates at all. I went outside the gates to do certain. I went to an orphanage to do some community service time in the orphanage, and it was a very life-changing experience for me, because you got to see how young kids live in an orphanage in a third world country. It's a lot different than here in the United States, because it's what we think poverty is. It's 10 times worse in a third world country. It's nothing that we can ever imagine unless you see it for yourself. So while I was in Kyrgyzstan, I just did that. I did my job for 4 months. I did Q&W at Manas Air Force Base. Did that for 4 months.
Q&W, sir?
It's just pretty much I made sure that that the food was prepared the right way, because we didn't do any of the cooking. We had the local nationals do the cooking.
For the master?
Yep. So we just made sure that the food was cooked at the right temperatures. We made sure that there was nothing being put in the food. We made sure that everything was being stored the right way. we were pretty much their supervisor, looking over them, making sure that they were doing everything by protocol.
Yes, sir.
So after that was over, I did 4 months there, and after that, I came back and did another 2 months at Luke Air Force Base, and then I went to a technical school for recruiting. The recruiting school was about 2 months to 2.5 months. The best time of my life in recruiting school to be a recruiter. It was amazing. It was so much fun. It's most of the work that you do there is hands-on. There's no paperwork, but it's very challenging at the same time. But the MTLs, the instructors there, they teach you so much. They teach you so much information in a short period of time, and they make it fun at the same time. So it's great. Go ahead, Ben.
What was the most challenging thing? You said it was challenging. What was challenging about it at the core?
About the recruiting school?
Yes.
When you're recruiting, you have to learn everything about the Air Force, knowing if somebody's qualified, if they're qualified, why they're qualified, if they're not qualified, why they're not qualified, and then you have to make sure that you're not hurting anybody's feelings and you're being as direct and not beating around the bush as much as possible. So it's you have to learn a lot of information in that little bit of time, and you have to be able to dissect somebody's conversation and understand what they need from the Air Force and how the Air Force can help them later on in life and how they can help the Air Force. So it was very challenging to know if somebody was either qualified or not qualified and why, and make sure that you didn't beat around the bush or anything like that while you were there. So it's very challenging to cram all the information about the Air Force jobs and things of that nature all in one. So it was a very challenging course. After that was over, I got Prescott, Arizona as my duty station. That's where my office is. A lot of you guys, if you guys do ever want to come out to visit me and talk about the Air Force, that's where I'm located. So that's pretty much me in a nutshell. Do you guys have any questions about my life previous to the Air Force and the things that I've faced, the challenges that I faced while being in the Air Force? Nothing's off limit. You can ask me anything.
What grades did you get in high school, sir?
Come again?
The grades. What kind of grades did you get in high school?
Oh, okay. I was actually like a C student, and that might be generous. I was the jock type of athlete when I was in high school. Not gonna lie at all. I pretty much didn't try as much in high school as I should have. So I knew that all I needed to graduate, and I knew when I was playing sports that I needed to pass so many classes to be eligible for sports, and that's what I made sure that I was. I was like, oh, if I need C's to pass, or if I need C's in 5 out of 7 classes, let me make sure that I get C's in 5 of these 7 classes, just to make sure that I was eligible to play sports. So if I could do everything all over again, would I take more time to do my homework and study more? Absolutely, but that's not something that I was thinking about when I was younger. I was just like, I'm just going to do the bare minimum to get past, and that's what happened. But luckily, I still had I don't want to say the Air Force was my backup plan, because now if I know that either I have my scholarship again or if I can go in enlisted right out of high school, I probably would have went in enlisted right out of high school if I knew that the Air Force was going to do so much for my life. What's up, man?
How many years have you been in the Air Force?
I've been in for 6 years. and I plan on being a lifer. I don't plan on getting out anytime soon. 6 years now, I've got 14 more to retire. Why not do it? I'll still be young enough to retire. At the age of 42, I'll be able to retire.
At 42, then you can
That's
be
not
a
bad.
junior RTC instructor, man.
Absolutely.
That's what I did.
Absolutely. That's not a bad route to go down.
Did you wait until after high school to learn about the Air Force?
Come again?
Did you wait until after high school to learn about the Air Force?
No, I didn't wait. I didn't wait very long out of high school. My uncle he retired as an E8, a senior master sergeant in the Air Force, and I saw what the Air Force did for him and his family and my cousins and my aunt, and I was just like, wow, they seem like they haven't made. Why not go that route? But it was just, at the time, I was so caught up in sports and caught up with being cool, sort of say, that I was just like, no, I don't want to do the military right now.
High school fever.
Yeah, exactly. I had that high school fever. I was just like, no, I want to have the college experience just like everybody else. My brother went through, he did 4 years in college, and I was just like, wow, my brother seems like he's loving college. I want to do the same exact thing. But I have no regrets at all, because if I didn't go through the trials and tribulations of being in college, I might not be here right now. So I have no regrets about going to college after high school at all. Anybody else? What's up, man?
Are you happy with the position you're in right now?
I'm very, very happy in the position I am right now. Like, being a recruiter is an amazing job. Airman Garcia right here, he's one of the applicants that I put in almost a year ago. And to see what you can change, how you can help change somebody's life it's very humbling, and it makes you feel so much better as a person to see, hey, this young adult right here doesn't know what they want to do with their life, or this person is trying to figure out what they're going to do. And for you to sit down, see somebody, see what they were when you first put them in to what they are now, and how it's changed their life and their family's life, it makes you feel very, very good inside. And that's why I wanted to get into recruiting, because I wanted to help people change their lives. I didn't get into, I'm sure you guys hear that certain recruiters are crooked, that they'll tell you anything to get you in, that we get paid to put people in. We don't get paid any extra money to put an applicant in, not one red cent. So when people think that we just lie to an applicant to get somebody in, that's not how it works. We're doing our job. We really do want the best for you, and we want to see you guys succeed, because we feel like we have the best branch of all four, and we want you to get something out of the Air Force, and we want you to like it. We want you to do 20 years. We don't want you to just do 4 years and get out. But if that's what is best for you, then at least the Air Force helped you achieve the goals that you wanted to achieve. But we want you guys to do 20 years, because it will pay off at the end. Trust me. Questions from anybody else? I'm going to pass it along to Airman Garcia. He's going to talk to you guys about his life story and how the Air Force has helped change his life.
All right, good afternoon. I'm A1C Garcia. I was a PHS graduate back in 2011. Throughout high school, I never thought I really wanted to be in the military. I figured I'd go to college. My story is very similar to Airman Stoney's over here. But, my dad did the Air Force for 17 years, and he tried to pressure it on me just a little bit. But for the most part, I didn't think the military was for me. And then my senior year in high school, I had a girlfriend named Tatum. She's actually my wife now. She got pregnant, and we have a beautiful son. He's 8 months old. And that's when I came to talk to Stoney, and I said, hey, I need to change. I want to step up and do the right thing and serve my country and, get education, have education for my son, all those things. I really wanted that, Graduated Prescott, and then got married about a month later, and shipped out about 2 months later. I went in open general, which is basically you choose when you get there, and they choose it for you.
No, you're going to get a list of about 7 jobs or so that you choose from, that you're saying, hey, these are the jobs that I want to do from the open general category, and we're going to try our best to get you one of the jobs that you ask for out of the 7 jobs that you choose when you go down to basic training.
But yeah, so anyways, I went in open general. Was lucky enough to become a 1-0, which is basically an operations intelligence analyst, and went over to Goodfellow, which is in San Angelo, Texas, so about 4 hours away from San Antonio. Was stationed there for about 8 months doing tech school. That was a very, very tough school, very, very hard. Honestly, throughout high school, like him, C on a good day, but I wasn't very, very too book smart. I got a 58 on my ASVAB, so I required the minimum score for my job, and went through, and I pushed myself. Honestly, I didn't think I could do it. I remember calling him. I was like, "Hey, I'm out of here. I'm going to be out of the Air Force because there's no way I can do this job." I pushed myself and I did it. And you have to definitely work hard and want it. And I wanted to stay in the military because at the time, a lot of kids were getting kicked out if they failed. That's just how it was, And so I didn't want to fail, and I really pushed myself. I studied a lot. It's a lot of studying, hard tests. Actually, what we do as a 1-0, it varies. We're kind of a wide variety of intelligence, but for the most part, what we do is we give briefings. So whether we be, briefing pilots, briefing commanders on the situation, whatever it may be. So my unit in Germany, I'm going to Vogelway, Germany here this week, and basically what we do is just we monitor OPSEC, you know, and basically we just want to make sure no information is getting out that's not supposed to get out. From what I've heard, it's a fairly simple job, so I got lucky. Being in the military, I've met a lot of friends. You meet people from all over, really, all over the United States, and it's kind of fun hearing everybody's background and, you know, seeing where they're from. And they go all over, and which is kind of nice about that is, you know, when we come back to the States, I have people in Las Vegas I could stay with, California. So you meet a lot of great people, and it's a great time. I absolutely love it. I wanted to say, you know, when I first joined, I was going to get out after 6 years, but, you know, being in it for a year and realizing that it's really not that bad, and I mean, who knows? I might do 20 and retire when I'm 38. Who knows? But like I said, it's been a really great time. Is there any questions or anything?
Did you go to college?
I did not go to college, but I'm like 2 or 3 credits away from my associate's degree. That's why the Air Force is so great, so you can get your education. But no, I got college credits for basic training, and then my tech school. I got almost 40 college credits from my tech school. So I almost have my associate's degree, and then when I go to my unit, I'm definitely going to concentrate on school. That's one of my bigger focuses. But yeah, I definitely value education, and if I had the chance to redo it, I definitely would in high school. I wish I would have paid attention, you know. Not that I didn't pay attention or anything, but no, I wish I would have tried a lot harder. Definitely, you know, looking back on it now and, you know, being older and being wiser, I would definitely do a lot of things different. But yeah, like I said, I got my college credits from those 2 things, and then I should have my associate's degree soon, and then I'm going to work up towards my bachelor's. But is there any other questions?
How old are you? Probably a dumb question, but
How old am I? I'm 19. Yeah, I'm young. But yeah, I plan to stay in for maybe 20 years. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it goes.
you like what you're doing in intelligence right now?
I love it. Honestly, it's very, very neat. It's neat knowing things that people don't know. Not everybody, you know, can work on the stuff that I work on, and that's why I love it. It's very, very stressful at times. I'll be honest. The school, very stressful. We have this exercise at our school, and it just takes a wear on you, you know. And it's very tough, but in the end, it's going to be a good job for when I get out. But as of right now, I absolutely love it. The school is tough, but
access to a lot of stuff you can't tell us.
yeah, of course. But no, it's fun. It's a fun job, very fun job, and I was fortunate to get it. This guy's been here since day one, and as you can see, you know, he didn't just recruit me and then leave me. It's not what he's all about. You know, we're still great friends, and we talk every day.
Yep, talk every day.
He's a great guy, and very good at what he does. Very good at what he does, and he actually will care about each and every one of you. I can guarantee you that. But is there any other questions? Yeah.
Did you have to learn a second language for your job?
I did not. The language part is a linguist, and that's in the intelligence career field as well. But no, for my job, I didn't have to. Majority of what we do is, like I said, we brief, and it's most likely going to be about aircraft or whatever. And yeah, that's basically what we do. But no, I don't know a second language. I know a little bit of Spanish, but that's about it. Is there any other questions? Yeah.
Why the Air Force?
Why the Air Force? In my opinion, it was what I wanted. I knew that if I was going to join any branch, and I failed to mention, my senior year, I was kind of thinking about it. Reality kind of hit me. I was like, well, what am I going to do? Like, my grades aren't that good. Honestly, they weren't that good. I didn't really apply myself in school, but my senior year really hit me, and that's what I kind of knew I wanted to do. As far as the Air Force, I like the branch out of all the other branches, honestly. My dad, like I said, was 17 years, and I knew it was what I wanted to do. As far my brother's in the Army. He's a mechanic. He's stationed in Colorado, but he wasn't very happy. You know, they made him do a lot of stuff that he didn't want to do, and it was just working a lot on the weekends, and he just didn't really like the Army, and he's just like, oh man, the Air Force has it so good, and he was always talking about it, and I was like, all right, well, that's what I want to do. So, yeah, I definitely, it hit me my senior year that's why I wanted to choose it, and then, talking to him and him putting down his moves and, and recruiting me, he did a good job, and, I'm very happy with my choice, very, very happy. But yeah, good stuff. Does anybody have any other questions about?
Would you rather have chosen anywhere else to go than Germany? Like, you could be stationed anywhere else.
It's a good question.
It's kind of unusual for a young person to go like this.
It's a
Usually
good question.
Stay at 2 or 3 years or whatever assignments at stateside. So because he's intelligence, that's an advantage.
Yeah. Honestly, I wouldn't say I was happy, but I wouldn't say I was sad when I first found out. I didn't like the fact that I love America, so it's like, I don't know. The whole thought of being over there and being away from my family, I'm really family oriented, so I'd love to be close to my family. But then, having a wife and son, having them over there with me is going to be a huge help. But if I had to choose any other place, I actually originally thought I was going to Hawaii. That's where my other half of the unit is, and they're stationed out of Hawaii. So when I looked it up, it said that I was going to Hawaii, so I was so happy. And then I found Germany. I was like, oh, Germany. But, I'd say I really can't appreciate it till I get over there. But I'm definitely very, very excited. I really can't wait. It's gonna be a great time. I'm going over there for 3 years, and
Quite an experience.
oh yeah, I'm gonna travel and do it all. And so,
Guys,
very,
look
very
at the
excited.
map here. Why don't you let them see this? See, the point is his Kaiserslautern is, look at all of Europe. It's right here in the middle of Europe. So literally, and these are small countries, smaller than all of our states, some of our counties. But in 2 hours, he can be in Switzerland. It's drive from here to Phoenix and be in Switzerland. That's not bad, is it? Or here to Phoenix and being in Brussels. Okay, I think Paris is probably 4 hours. Tucson. Drive to Tucson and be in Paris. That's not bad. And being young, with a young wife and kid that you can throw in the back and road trip. And that's exactly what I did, because I was in England the whole time, and I was right here above London. But in 4 hours from my house, I could be in Paris via train. So again, as a young person, as I tell you guys, y'all need to go out and see the world. And when you grow up and you want to put kids in PHS, you come back to Preston High School. But I'm just saying, it's a perfect situation for him. You'll probably deploy, though, right?
Yes, sir.
Where might you deploy to?
I have been communicating with my sponsor, which basically every time you PCS, when you change stations, they are there to help you, find a house, do whatever, help you with your paperwork. And so I've been communicating with them, and they said that when we mainly deploy, we deploy to Qatar. So that's where we mainly deploy out of.
Oh, guys, where's Qatar? No.
I thought it was in India.
Oh, it's in India. Have you ever heard of that one?
No.
Qatar. Right. Where is Qatar? Or Qatar is another way of saying, okay? This is on the Persian Gulf, and you can see it's right key point on the Persian Gulf. This is Iran, okay, that may shut down these straits. And then on the Persian Gulf, they have these small little countries. One of them is called Qatar, and it's a separate little peninsula out here. We have a humongous airfield on there, which I'm sure we can blow up and see somewhere. I'm not sure where it is here, but that was where he's deployed in support of Bahrain. That's another small country right there, and this is all next to Saudi Arabia, right? And Kuwait. We just studied about the Gulf War, and Iraq. Okay, so that would be a standard deployment for him. When he's married to this girl from Prescott, right?
Yes, sir.
So is she going to be lonely in Germany when he's gone with a newborn child? That's going to stink for her, except that the military supports you. And she's going to have 20 other spouses, male or female. They're going to have kids, and there'll be a support system for them. So it's not like you leave your spouse, and she has no support system and no friends or no anything going on. So it'll work out well.
I'll answer your question from a single man's point of view. When I went to Germany, going to Germany is amazing. It's probably, like I told you, it's like the best time of my life. Like, you guys have to think about when you get older, you guys are going to want to go out to enjoy nightlife, things of that nature. You guys are going to have as much fun as possible. Imagine here, you guys know, well, you'll learn when you guys get older. The clubs here close at 2 o'clock in the morning, right? Clubs in Europe close at 6 o'clock in the morning. They open at 10 o'clock and they close at 6 o'clock in the morning. So you can be out partying for 8 hours straight.
This is his recruiting.
Yeah.
You just be telling, I'm partying. How I look at it. You get so much freedom to do things. Something that you guys don't know about overseas, that in the States that you can't do, but you can do overseas. And I'm not saying this, it's the best thing to do. But if you're 18, you're allowed to drink when you're overseas. You're not allowed to drink in the States, but you're allowed to drink when you're in Europe. So if you want to drink at 18, because I know no high school student does that now. So if you guys want to drink at the age of 18, you're allowed to do that. Another great thing that I loved about Germany, traffic in the United States is terrible. I can't stand it. But in Germany, you can drive on the Autobahn. And the cars don't have governors or anything like that. So you can actually drive, like I drove a car 160 miles per hour on the Autobahn. Wow. Amazing. When I was in Germany, I had a girlfriend there. She lived, I want to say about 300 miles away. And it only took me an hour and 15 minutes to an hour and a half minutes.
Gosh.
So it was so much fun. And like I lived in. There's no speed limit. You go as fast as you want. Go as fast as you want. So
That's terrible.
That's amazing. So if you have a very fast car or something like that, it's perfect.
Like a Veyron or like a Bugatti Veyron, you know what that is?
You can just have a regular BMW there, and the BMWs go like 140, 160 miles per hour, and you'll be fine. I had like a Dodge Stratus. I had one of the only American cars because I bought it from somebody else on base. And I was going 120 all the time in my car before I switched over to another car. And people were flying by me. And I'm like, geez, I'm going 120 miles per hour. And people are flying past me because I had an American-made car and we can only go so fast because it had one of those governors on it. So I was just like, geez. But I got a different car and I was able to travel as fast as I wanted to.
When you get to Germany, what kind of money do they like? Can you?
They have euro. And when you're in the States, you just get paid off of our BAH. That's our basic allowance for housing. But when you're in Europe, you get COLA. It's cost of living allowance. So if you're in Europe, you actually get paid more money than you do if you're in the States because the euro is worth more than the dollar. So like 1 euro equals like $1.50 or something like that. So they have to pay you more to make it even between the dollar and the euro. But if you shop on base all the time, which you will have, then you're making even more money because you're not shopping on shopping on the economy there.
So note to self: if you're ever deployed in Europe, always shop on base.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yes. Absolutely. Always get your gas on base because people complain about gas prices here. It's like $3.50 or $3.60 a gallon. There, it's about $2.50 to $3 a liter. So you could be paying $12 a gallon just to it would take forever or cost forever or very much to fill up your tank. What's up, man?
How long on average does it take to recruit someone?
How long does it normally average?
How long did Kevin Simpson? You guys know Kevin Simpson?
Yes, sir.
He's the guy that got him in.
Let's say I recruit somebody in the month of January, and they're not a high school senior. They'll probably leave, I would say, by May. They'll probably be gone. They'll have their job in a month or two, and then 2 to 3 months after that, they'll be gone. So not very long. Not very long at all. Some people hear rumors that it takes up to like a year to leave, or like 8 months. No, it's normally a lot faster than that.
Mine was.
I got him out quick.
Yeah, mine was
I got
super
him out
fast.
in like
Very fast. All I did was got married, left. like that 2 months later. So
Got him out very quick.
What do you think about the idea of one world currency? This is just something I was thinking of.
I don't think it's ever going to happen, but it's a great thought. But I don't think it's ever going to happen.
No, I was just thinking, the currency on the euro is worth more than the dollar. Why don't we all switch to the euro if it's worth more?
That would be so many economical problems.
Exactly.
When you recruit somebody, does the person have the choice of like going to school, like college first, or does the Air Force like tell them how to do that?
No, like if you go and enlisted, you're automatically going to basic training, so that means you're not going to college first, but you can go to college on your free time while you're in. That's another thing that I wanted to hit, a couple of things I wanted to talk to you guys about. I'm not here to recruit you guys or anything like that, but a lot of young adults make mistakes early in life. And before you guys decide to say, hey, I'm disqualified, go in and talk to a recruiter, whatever branch it is that you guys want to. Go in and talk to that recruiter or talk to somebody about the Air Force, because just because you guys think that you're in trouble doesn't mean that you're going to be not allowed in the Air Force. We work waivers for everything. That means a waiver is, let's say there's something, you did something wrong, or you need a medical waiver. We'll look at it and we'll say, give the kid the benefit of the doubt. We'll put a waiver in for you, and it's possible you can get a job that way. Like a lot of young adults, they think that a minor consumption, because it happens. Even though I know no high school kid drinks, it happens, and people get minor consumptions, and they think, oh, if I get a minor consumption, I won't ever be allowed to join the military. That's false. So before you self-diagnose yourself with being disqualified, go talk to somebody first before you just say, hey, I'm not qualified.
Isn't that what you do with Kevin Simpson? He had something that he needed.
I am not talking about anybody's business. I'm not allowed to do that.
Oh, okay.
I am not allowed to do that. Yeah, ask Kevin. Another thing is, I was going to talk about one more thing. I absolutely forgot. Anybody, any questions? So I can try to remember.
What's kind of like the crime that you stop at?
The crime that we stop at, certain things right now it's going to be hard for us to work a waiver for. The big thing that we see is possession of marijuana or a drug charge. If you have that, it's going to be very hard for us to work a waiver for that. So possession of marijuana, possession of paraphernalia, that could be an automatic DQ. So it all depends on sometimes the discretion of your commander. But sometimes people do work waivers for them. Sometimes waivers can't be worked. So I say small things you guys are going to be able to still get in. Let's say if you stole something when you were younger, like 14 or 13, and you feel like, oh, just because I have that on my record, I'm going to be in so much trouble. We'll still be able to work with that. If you have like a curfew violation, we'll be able to work with that. If you have speeding tickets, we'll be able to work with that. Certain things we will be able to work, but certain things we can't. If you have like 3 assault charges, you're pretty good chance you're not getting in. If you have an attempted murder, you're not getting in. If you have like the serious charges, I'm pretty sure you're not going to get in. We have a book that says if you can get in or if you can't, and if we can work a waiver for you, if we can't work a waiver for you, what level it needs to go to. There's so many things that we do first before we say, hey, you're disqualified. We don't want to just tell somebody they're disqualified unless we absolutely know that they're disqualified and there's nothing we can do to help them. A lot of things that we run into now, because the economy has took a hit and everything, and a lot of young adults have bad credit. For the Air Force, we're the only branch that does a credit check. So if you do have bad credit, there's a chance you're not going to get in. If you have like a lot of things that are at a collection agency, you're going to have to pay a lot of that off before you try to get into the Air Force. Make sense?
Yes, sir.
All right. The thing I wanted to talk to you guys was about tuition assistance and the GI Bill. Tuition assistance, that's a lot of you guys, I don't know how many in here have college paid for sure. That's something you guys need to look at. Tuition assistance pays $4,500 every single year for you guys to go to school. Plus, you guys are going to get the GI Bill, and the GI Bill is going to give you a lump sum amount so you guys can go to school later on in life, or you can use it while you're in the Air Force as well. But that's something you guys can all go to airforce.com, read up about, and go from there.
Any other questions?
We got about 9 minutes. Just,
You guys can ask anything.
Any
It could
personal
be
questions?
anything in the world. And
It's up to you guys.
I don't want you guys to look at me like, oh my gosh, he's like the strictest recruiter ever. I'm super laid back, guys. If you guys see me in action, you'll be like, wow, he is super laid back. I'm a man before I put this uniform every day. So ask me anything, and I'll be straight up and honest with you.
I know I kind of asked you guys this earlier, but what was like boot camp kind of like for each of you? That's like definitely afraid of.
Do you want my experience or you want his experience?
Either one.
I think we had the same experience.
I was in great shape when it came to boot camp. I was running a mile and a half in 8 minutes, 7:55. I was super fast. So when it came to that, I was killing it. But like I said, I was a knucklehead, a hardhead sometimes, and I had a problem with authority. And I was just like, oh, you guys, you're not going to tell me to do something. I'll do what I want, sir. And that's what kicked me in the butt a little bit. And then I'm not the most organized person in the world. And being in the Air Force, especially at basic training, you have to be very, very organized. A lot of people say that the Air Force their basic training might be a little bit easier than physically, but when it comes to like mentally preparing yourself and paying attention to detail, I believe the Air Force has the hardest boot camp when it comes to that, because it is so hard. Like you can think your bed is made perfect. In your eyes, you're like, wow, that's perfect. And your training instructor will come by and be like, nope, that looks like crap. And just throw everything off your bed and be like, I just spent 30 minutes making that bed and I thought it was perfect. Now I got to spend another hour to make a bed to hope that it's perfect. So that's the hardest part about it. And you're sleep deprived. That's it. You're so sleep deprived. I know when I was in basic training, I probably went to bed around 11, 12 o'clock every night. And I was waking up at 4 o'clock, 4:30 in the morning. And I was just like, geez, I'm so tired. But you can get through it. You'll get used to it. The first 3 weeks are hard. I tell all my applicants, like, hey, we're super cool. You guys are going to hate me for 3 weeks. I guarantee you guys will hate me for 3 weeks. Because we like to say, or people like to say that the Air Force breaks you down to build you up, to mold you into what we want you to be. So everything that you might think is right now, when you get to Lackland Air Force Base that first day, nothing. You don't even know how to walk anymore, because we're going to tell you that you don't know how to walk. You need to walk the way we tell you how to walk. You need to eat the way we tell you how to eat. Everything is going to be completely different from what you might know of now. So, but other than that, it's a piece of cake. It's a piece of cake. I didn't have to.
I hate it. I'll be honest. Personally, I didn't like it at all. I went in out of shape, but I get in shape, fairly simple. No, I get in fairly simple. Not get in. I get in shape fairly simple. But no, I did not like it, honestly. A lot of it, having a pregnant wife, was the thought of that just kind of sucked. Like her being gone, and it just felt to me like I wasn't helping out, and so, it was definitely very hard. But what your days are like? I mean, he went in 6 years ago, so no. Like I remember we got there, got yelled at, all that stuff, and then the night we got in, it's about like we got in at like 2 o'clock, and then I remember we woke up at 4 o'clock. And it's just, I was the first one to get yelled at. Yeah, it's a long story, but I was the first one to get yelled at. And honestly, what I did is I listened to him, and he's just like, lay low. You don't want to be the one to stand out. Don't do anything stupid. And I always kept my mouth shut, and that's kind of how my attitude was. Somebody's yelling in my face, I'll laugh like that. And I just had a problem with authority. But when you get there, and it's a different story. Like, you're scared. You hear that click clack on the boots, and you're just like, and everybody changes. But it was very, in my opinion, it was easy but hard. The easy part about it, like he said, he wasn't very neat, but I'm like a perfectionist. I do things certain ways, and I'm good at it when I do it. Like, you have to roll T-shirts a certain way, like roll socks like you've never rolled socks. You have to do bed drills. I've never sweated making a bed, and it's absolutely terrible. Get yelled at quite a bit. I only got yelled at once, and that was that first time. you get put on details, and basically what that is in the mornings and in the evenings you do your job, whether that be scrubbing toilets in the dormitory or lining beds. But everything is perfection. That's how we do it. It's nonstop. From when you wake up to when you go to sleep, it's go, go, go. There's a lot of cool experiences, like Sea Bernie. It's like a gas chamber. It's like, I didn't like it, but it's cool that you could say that you've done it. I think it's a tenth of what tear gas actually is.
Tear gas is terrible if it's a tenth because
it's bad.
It was bad enough for me. I was like, I never want to experience this ever again.
But basically, you put all this chem gear, and then you have the gas mask, and then you have to take off the gas mask and give a reporting statement, and then it's bad. Like your eyes are all jacked up, and you're like coughing, and it sucked. But it's cool to see that you've done that stuff. There are some cool things about it, but it's go, go, go. I remember after basic training, I got to tech school, and that weekend, it's a lot different because I just had my own room with one of my buddies from basic training, and I slept all weekend, like the entire. I literally did not get out of bed. I was just so sleep deprived for like about a month that I didn't get out of bed. But no, very, very fun experience, I should say. Sometimes you become very close with the guys that you're with. You're with them 24/7. Tell you from when you wake up till when you go to sleep. Those are your brothers, and that's what they try to beat you on, is becoming a family, and everybody's the same. And yeah, it sucks, but it's fun.
I'll tell you guys a quick story because I know Colonel Peoples wants to wrap this up.
1.5 minutes.
All right, it's real quick. Like when I tell you guys that I was like one of those people that I had a problem with authority a lot, I did, and like he just said that you build a family with like 59 other people or so. You don't want your 59 other people to hate you. And I think it was my second week while I was there, all 59 people hated me in my second week. We were marching one day, and I had a sister flight, so it was like 59 of us, or 60 of us, and it was like 60 girls, and that was the people we did everything with. And one of my sister flight, one of the girls tripped, and we're supposed to like help them up and make sure that they're okay. But I left. I was like, that's hilarious that you just fell. And my instructor was just like, he was like, get on your face right now. Push-ups, sit-ups, everything. And like I said, I was in great shape, so I did it, no problem. And I brought my TI to the side because we had to stop by the commissary, or we had to stop by the BX and pick up some stuff for the dorm. And I brought him to the side. I was like, hey, sir, doing exercise is not going to hurt me. I was like, I'm in great shape. Nothing. Don't even worry about it. So as soon as we got back to the dorms, he was just like, guess what? Everybody stand in front of your bunks. So everybody standing there, he was like, Trainee Stoney right here said that exercising has nothing to do. It does not hurt him at all. So everybody get on your face. And we were doing exercises for about an hour and a half. Everybody was in sweat. Everybody was sweating. While we were doing flutter kicks, instead of saying 1, 2, 3, we were saying 1, 2, thank you, Stoney, 1, 2, and everybody was like, got in my face and yelled at me and everything, and I was just like, I don't care. So don't do that. Don't be me. All right.
All right. Thank you very much.
Yeah.